States now is Representative Gene Green, Democrat from Texas, and Representative John Shadegg, Republican from Arizona. Both are members of the Energy and Commerce Committee. Welcome to you both. Mr. Green, let me begin with you. The Wall Street Journal writes this morning that the CEOs who are asserting that they're planning to take these large write-offs are being, quote, hauled before Congress on April 21 for an intimidation session. I assume you disagree with that, don't think it's an intimidation session, but why not?
Well, both Congressman Shadegg and I are members of the Energy and Commerce Committee. I'm a member of the Oversight Subcommittee, and that's what we do, whether you're Republican in control or Democrat in control. We have people come and testify and give us information. We want them, if the CEOs say that they're taking a write-down, we want them to come and defend it. I think part of it's true. It is an accounting. They have to publish that, and they have to announce it because of the accounting rules. But I also know that all these major companies will also save money on their health care because they already cover all their employees.
So if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing by taking the write-downs as they're required to under accounting rules, why have a hearing, Congressman Green?
The difference is that because they're only looking at one segment of the bill. In fact, I would ask people to go to HoustonChronicle.com today. In the business section, there's an article about this. This law was passed in 2003 and let corporations do this to cover their employees so they wouldn't go into Medicare Part D, their retirees. Right. It's corporate welfare at its worst,
Let me get
according to Leon
here.
Steffi and the Houston Chronicle.
Forgive me for interrupting, Congressman Green. I want to get Congressman Shadegg in here to respond to what you've just said and address most specifically the idea that this is an intimidation session. Do you expect it to be that?
It clearly is intimidation. There's no question about it, and it follows a pattern. When one of the energy company executives, David Sokol, came in and said cap and trade wouldn't work, the committee, within literally minutes of his testimony, sent a letter demanding that he produce all kinds of documents. When I think Humana sent out a letter to the recipients of its health care plan saying that Obamacare would harm them, the Obama administration immediately tried to intimidate them. This is, in fact, a pattern of intimidation. What Democrats don't like is that, in point of fact, these disclosures by these large companies, the write-downs, are compelled by law. And I'm glad my friend Gene Green admits that. And he wants to say that this is corporate welfare. It's really not corporate welfare. It's a benefit to those companies' retirees. And when the bill was being considered and the repeal of this tax exemption and the imposition of this new tax was being considered, numerous unions, including the AFL-CIO and others, including the electrical workers, AT&T's employee unions, came in and said, don't do this. This will harm our retirees.
In fact,
it's clearly intimidation, and it's clearly intended to tell these executives to shut up because they don't like them criticizing their bill.
Contrary to that, we don't want them to shut up. We want them to come and testify in an open hearing.
Come on, Gene.
It'll be on C-SPAN, John.
Yeah, at that hearing, I'll make sure we read the letter from the unions who said, don't do this to our retirees.
Well,
it's going to hurt the retirees.
John, I'm a member of the Communications Workers Union that has mostly AT&T and Verizon, and I know our union internationally supported the health care bill because what they're doing is this one thing.
Gene. It may have supported the bill, Gene, but they wrote a letter. The communication workers specifically wrote a letter saying, don't attack this benefit for our retired employees.
The specific provision within the bill. They supported the overall bill.
Well,
but it was this
you're right.
specific
They
provision.
supported the overall bill, but this is like in a baseball game attacking one pitch when you have 9 innings. These companies
you guys
will
are
benefit
attacking
from
the pitch.
this bill.
You guys are the one that made a big deal out of this. This wouldn't be news right now if the White House and if Mr. Waxman hadn't made it news by saying, oh, this is awful that they're reporting what they are required by law, and you admit they're required by law to report.
Well, I'm not chair of the committee. Chairman Waxman is, and I know the accounting rules require it, but I also know that this is like a one shot when you have 1,000 other things that will benefit these companies, and that's what we want to hear. I know the accounting rules require it, but I also want to know, because these companies all cover their employees with health care. The Business Roundtable last year said that they would save almost $3,000 off their employee health care if we covered more people instead of just the large companies covering their own. So
there's an estimate out there,
this is a good way to look at it.
1.5 to 2 million retirees might lose their drug benefit as a result of this repeal. I think there's a risk that those people are going to rebel and come after the people that voted for this bill.
Well,
Americans
they
don't
won't
like
rebel because
they don't
those
like
companies
Congress
have a
taking away
contract.
their benefits. This is going to take away their benefits.
If I don't get Dennis in here, he's going to have an apoplectic fit.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Congressman,
Quick question.
I just want to point out, gentlemen, that one study shows 3,500 companies representing 6.3 million retirees are going to take $14 billion in charges. It's accounting law. In the White House, Valerie Jarrett, the liaison to companies, says they are not politicking with this. They're just following accounting rules. There is no need, Congressman Green, for this hearing at all, is there?
It definitely is a need for the hearing because this is one issue in the giant health care bill. I want to hear from those CEOs, not only on this accounting gimmick for their retirees, but how much then they're going to save out of their health care plans. It's a public hearing. Members and senators question people all the time.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Congressman Green, thank you very much. Congressman Shadegg, appreciate your time.